What is up, fellas? We are back for another UFC predictions video. This time for UFC Fight Night, Whittaker versus De Ritter. Guys, this card is sick from top to bottom. I'm super stoked to break down this card for you guys. We did pretty good last weekend for UFC 318, even despite the main card kind of collapsing and every giant underdog winning. We still did pretty good. I believe we went 10-4 on picks, which is all right. We did pick Paulo Costa correctly as an underdog, and the card was really fun overall. But besides the Pitbull fight, that fight sucked. But yeah, I'm gonna break down the entire card. Still no phase cam. I might have to order another one. So I have a stand-in for where I would be on the screen. So just pretend that's me talking. And let's jump right in. We got a sick card this weekend, guys. Arguably better on paper than last weekend's pay-per-view. Kicking us off at heavyweight, we have Martin Buday taking on Marcus Buchecha. Marcus Buchecha coming in at a minus 200 favorite in his UFC debut. Now, I don't like betting on guys or picking guys who are making their UFC debut because generally they tend to perform worse more often than not. And Buday is a big, strong guy, volume puncher for a fat guy. Definitely a volume puncher. But Buchecha is a elite jiu-jitsu grappler. He is very good. And at a heavyweight, at a heavier weight class, having nasty submission skills, man, if he is able to get Buday on the mat, he will almost certainly finish him. He's just got too much upside. This loss, I don't mind as much to Umar Kane. He's better with the grappling defense than a Martin Buday. Because who has Buday fought that's really wanted to grapple him? To be honest, you know, Shamil, but Shamil knocked him out. Josh Parisian's terrible. Jake Collier, like he's beating low level trash. I think Marcus Buchecha can win this fight by submission. I think he's got the finishing upside. He's not a complete lost dog on the feet either. He's obviously worse than the Buday, but I just don't trust Martin Buday. He's just, yeah, everybody's picking Buchecha by sub. I agree. I think he's a real legit prospect as far as his grappling goes at heavyweight, because not a lot of guys are really getting submissions at heavyweight. Not like this guy can. And he's been fighting at one, not a complete regional schmuck. I think he wins this fight more often than not. This is his fight to win. It's not a very hard matchup for him. I don't think Buday's got the grappling defense, so I'm going to be going with Marcus Buchecha here to win by submission. Maybe Buday can fraud check him. I think you need to be a little bit better than a Buday to get the win over Marcus Buchecha here. Moving up to featherweight, Muhammad Yahya is taking on Stephen Gwynn. Guys, I'm going with Stephen Gwynn. Muhammad Yahya is one of the worst fighters I've ever seen. This guy is untechnical, period. He is trash. Cowboy Fernandez easily beat him. Trevor Peek took him to a decision, which is honestly crazy. Muhammad Yahya is just a victim. He's really not good anywhere. He's just kind of a punching bag a lot of the time. And Stephen Gwynn's a guy who throws in nasty combinations, has pretty good power. He's really, really tough. This Jarno Aarons fight, he took a licking and was still giving it back to Jarno Aarons, who's a really decent kickboxer. I think Jarno Aarons is much better in the feet than Muhammad Yahya, and I don't think Muhammad Yahya is going to be able to get the grappling going against Stephen Gwynn. Stephen Gwynn's pretty solid, dude. Decent power, good boxing combinations, tough as nails. I just think Muhammad Yahya is dog shit. A lot of guys going with Stephen Gwynn TKO. I kind of agree. I think he will chin Muhammad Yahya. There's no odds here, but I would probably predict Stephen Gwynn to be at least a minus 200 here. He should be. He's way better. Fought better comp for sure. And he just looks better. He looked better in his UFC debut. Muhammad Yahya actually looked worse. But Cowboy Fernandez is a beast, though, to be fair to him. But I just don't think he's very good. So I'm going to go with Stephen Gwynn by TKO here in this matchup. Moving up to 205. That is not what I wanted to do at all. Why the fuck am I on Magny and Protez? What the hell just happened? Technical difficulties, bear with me. Moving up to 205. Ibo Aslan taking on Billy Elikana. Ibo Aslan's another big favorite here, huh? I don't think Ibo Aslan's very good. I don't think Billy Elikana's all that good either. But this is Billy Elikana with some more time to prepare instead of getting bogged in Guskov on like a week's notice. I don't like Ibo Aslan being minus 280. I don't think he's good at all. I correctly picked him to lose to Iwan Kutelaba. I picked Iwan as an underdog there. I've not thought much of him. A lot of his fights, like Sequeria is terrible, Turkali's terrible, and then we're on the Contender Series. Like his UFC competition hasn't been very high. Genuinely, Billy Elikana probably fought the harder the harder fight. Bogdan Guskov's legit, and he's later on this card fighting for like a real top 10 spot in the division. I could almost see myself picking a Billy Elikana here as an underdog. But Aslan's got really good power. He's pretty durable. And I just haven't seen enough of Elikana to pick him. And he's not really a natural 205er either. Like, he looked very thin and spindly against Guskov, and Ibo Aslan's every bit of 205. Like, he belongs in the weight class. I'm going to go with Ibo Aslan. I don't like the line. I think he should be like minus maybe 200 tops for me. Everybody's picking him by TKO. That's probably how he does win, by TKO. I just haven't seen enough from Elikana to really trust him in this spot. And Ibo Aslan's really good at beating bottom feeders in the division, and I'm uncertain if Billy Elikana really is a bottom feeder or not. But we will find out in this matchup. I'm going to go with Ibo Aslan. I'm going to slightly lean him. I think he can probably get a TKO here, but we'll see. I don't think Billy Elikana is a bad underdog, to be honest. Moving up to women's strawweight, Amanda Ribas taking on Tabitha Ritchie. Dude, part of me really wants to go with Tabitha Ritchie. I don't know why, but part of me really does. We haven't seen her since Yan Jianan's fight. Yan Jianan looked incredible in that matchup. She's just a way better striker than Tabitha Ritchie. And when you're a way better striker than Tabitha Ritchie, like Eon's better, all she's going to be able to do is go for half-hearted takedown attempts, and Yan Jianan's really good at defending that. She's just been in the cage against much better ladies than Tabitha Ritchie. So, is Amanda Ribas Eon's better on the feet? No, not really. She's a bit chinny. Her grappling's all right. She's got decent submissions, but she just got submitted by Mackenzie Dern. I kind of want to pick Tabitha Ritchie as an underdog. Also on the fact that if this is a close decision, it will 100% be going to Tabitha Ritchie. We have seen this before. Angela Hill probably should have lost this fight. Unanimous decision. Tisha Pennington, one of the clearest robberies I've ever seen, but she still gets the win. Lupi, the only decision that hasn't gone her way was Lupi Godinez, besides this one. This one was clear. Yeah, they didn't rob Lupi on this one, but they probably could have. And then Jillian Robertson. Decent win. I'm going to go Tabitha Ritchie, honestly, as an underdog. I think she's got good volume on the feet. I think she can actually sting Ribas with a shot. I think her pure wrestling is a little bit better. And in a close decision, I kind of trust her to get the win just because, you know, she tends to get close decisions that shouldn't go her way, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Tabitha Ritchie. I think she wins by decision. It's the people's underdog, though, which I don't like betting on, but a lot of people like Ritchie. I haven't been impressed. This was a bad look for me. Not that getting submitted by Mackenzie Dern is a bad look. It's just she looked kind of shit. Rose Namajunas happens, many such cases. The one at Pinheiro is pretty fucking good. Macy Barber's pretty good. Vivian Ariwaho's all right. I'm gonna go with Tabitha Ritchie. I don't know. I just have a feeling that this would be one of the fights I would pick Ribas and she loses a split decision. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting that vibe, so I'm not touching that shit. Moving up to men's bantamweight, this is a fight I'm actually pretty interested in. Damon Blackshear taking on Davey Grant. This line had better be not too insane. Minus 245. Okay. Yeah, this is a tricky one, man, because Damon Blackshear is very good. His striking's been leveling up. His grappling is elite. He's got great jiu-jitsu. Very dangerous on the mat. But Davey Grant's a guy, man. Even though he's fucking old, you see the 40 years of age, you're like, he's probably washed. He keeps beating these young prospects. He keeps looking good, dude. You know what I mean? He should have beaten Daniel Marcos. This was a robbery. And he should have beaten Adrian Yanez. This was a robbery. Like, and then he would be, I mean, like, these two L's should be wins. And he would be on a 5-fight win streak against Ramon Tavares, Daniel Marcos, Sun Sal, Smolka, and Yanez. Like, he's legit, dude. Davey Grant is still fucking good. I wasn't sure about in this matchup against Tavares if he still had it because he took a huge layoff, but he showed up in good form. But Damon Blackshear is tricky, man. He's very physical, and his striking's been getting better. Now, Cody Gibson had some success against him. Alatong Haley, he just decided to strike with him, and this is what I worry about, man. This is what I worry about with Damon Blackshear. He just wanted to strike with Alatong Haley. He cannot afford to just want to strike with Davey Grant. Like, Damon Blackshear is minus 245 because of his grappling, not because of his striking. If this was a striking matchup, this would be probably evens. Get this AI slop off my screen. You get what I'm saying? Like, this line is like, oh yeah, he should grapple. If he grapples, he's minus 250. You know what I mean? But in this fight, like I remember distinctly his team asking him to grapple, and he shook his head no. And I don't like that. I don't like that type of mindset. And he was also getting beat up by Cody Gibson for a while in this matchup. Great performance against Cody Stamann, but Cody Stamann's pretty washed. Got chinned by Montel Jackson really quickly, and then lost a close decision to Mario Batista. Does Davy Grant still have it in him, bro? I'm thinking about getting a little bit fruity on this card and picking some dogs. We just picked one. I might pick another. Because I don't... Damon Black... Here, listen. This is my take. This is the correct take on this fight. If Damon Blackshear grapples, he will beat Davy Grant if he decides to. But I do not trust him to grapple in this matchup. I just don't trust him. And on the feet, I honestly like Davy Grant. He's got weird power. He throws hard. He can take a shot still. I might go with Davy Grant as a plus 200 underdog. I think I am. I don't know. This is a weird matchup for me. I've explained it enough. I've gone into enough detail. I think Davy Grant has advantages on the feet. I think he hits harder. I think he's more durable, to be honest. And he's got submissions of his own. He's not that good with them, but he's got them. You know, he hit an inverted triangle against a Sun Sal, which is really crazy. I'm going to go with Davy Grant. He's a hard fight for 3 rounds, man. And he should be on a 5-fight win streak against some pretty legit prospects. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with Davy Grant because I don't know if Damon Blackshear's going to grapple. He might just ego him and stand on the feet, and that's giving Davy Grant a chance to look like maybe like an even as opposed to a plus 200 underdog. So I'm picking him. Fuck it. Moving up to welterweight, Muslim Salikov taking on Carlos Leal. What's the line here? Minus 400, huh? Jesus. Criminy. I like Leal in this fight, but he is there to be hit. And he is, you haven't really seen it, but he is a little bit chinny, I feel like. He kind of got wobbled against Morono, which I don't love. Beat for Kratinov, one of the worst robberies I've ever seen. And then he's getting good wins in the LFA. Salikov's on a 2-fight win streak. That he had a beautiful wheel kick on Song Kanan, and then he kind of... I thought Padre Nabio won this fight, if I'm being candid with you. But it was a close fight. But it's tricky. I think Salikov is live to look much better than plus 300, but the way Carlos Leal came out against Alex Morono, I think he can blow up Muslim Salikov pretty quickly, because I don't think Salikov has the same chin. I don't think his durability is the same. I think if he binks him one time with like a straight cross, he'd probably drop him. I mean, he's 41, man. Could I see Muslim Salikov maybe trying to maintain distance and land a big shot on Leal, who I think is a little bit chinny? Yes, it's definitely possible. But I think more often than not, Salikov's a guy who also kind of gasses a little bit in his old age, and the pressure Leal was putting on Morono was absolutely silly. So if he goes out there and puts that pressure on Salikov, I could see him gassing pretty quickly, especially if he can't get a shot landed and get some respect on the feet. So I'm actually going to lean Carlos Leal here. I think he can win this fight by TKO. I'm sure that's what everybody's picking. Yeah, I think he can gas out Muslim Salikov against the cage, keep himself defensively responsible, crowd the kicker, and land good shots up against the cage and probably put Muslim Salikov out. Salikov is live, though, man. He is still very, very dangerous. And our main prelim of the card, Bryce Mitchell at bantamweight, taking on Said Nurmagomedov. Guys, I might get silly. I might get another underdog pick here. I think Bryce Mitchell at bantamweight is going to be a lot better. I think he's going to be better at bantamweight because when you look at a lot of his losses, right? Elliot Taporia, Gene Silva, Josh Emmett. These are guys who are fucking physical freaks. You know what I'm saying? He loses to physical freaks. Josh Emmett is on steroids and could knock out a fucking bull moose with an overhand right. Gene Silva is like all muscle. Like when they stand next to each other in the cage, you can see like, holy shit, Gene Silva's like fucking twice this guy's muscle density. He's just so strong and explosive. Elliot Taporia, need I say more? You know what I mean? But when we get guys like Dan Ige, we can beat a Dan Ige. We can beat a Cron Gracie easy, who's a schmuck. When he's not outsized and out physicality, man, he is very hard to beat. Because he's got good durability, he's got really good wrestling, and he's got really good submission skills. But one thing with Bryce, if you're not a physical freak putting a pace on him, he really has good cardio. And unless the cut to bantamweight affects his cardio badly, I don't think it will. I think he'll probably end up doing the cut the right way. I think he'll have better cardio than Said. I think he'll have better pure grappling than Said. And I think on the feet, he can hang, man. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was making Ilya miss pretty frequently and landed all right shots on Ilya Taporia with the flu, you know what I mean? He was landing all right against Gene Silva too, to be honest. It looked for a little bit like Gene Silva was having a hard time. Like, I know he was doing a lot of emotes and like fooling around, but a lot of that, in my opinion, was him kind of being like, well, how the fuck do I get to this guy? Eventually, he did get to him, but Bryce Mitchell was landing all right shots there. And I think, Said Nurmagomedov was very good for the first 5.5 minutes, first 6 minutes. But then he death gasses. Every single time in a fight, he death gasses. He did it against Oliveira. He did it against Jonathan Martinez. I think he'll probably do it against Bryce Mitchell. My only concern with Bryce Mitchell is Said Nurmagomedov is dangerous in the front choke position, specifically with ninja chokes. He beat Said Yakub Karakramanov with that after getting dominated in the grappling basically this entire fight, and he lashed up a ninja choke and finished him. By the way, I say this anytime Said Yakub Karakramanov comes back up. Why did we cut this guy? This guy is elite. Sign him UFC. What are you fucking doing? Muin Gafurov, decent win because Muin's gotten some wins together, I guess. But I think Bryson Mitchell can win this fight. I wonder what the people are picking here. Not a lot of guys picking Mitchell. I like Mitchell here by decision. I think he can win rounds 2 and 3 after a pretty sketchy first round. I don't think Said Yakub finishes him in the first round. It's pretty hard to get Bryce out of there in the first round. So I'm going to go with Bryce Mitchell by decision here as a plus, 100, basically even underdog here. I just kind of like him in this matchup, and I think he'll do better at bantamweight where he's not just so disgustingly out-muscled and outsized. Oh, we're doing this again. God damn it, man. Hello? It takes me back to Ian Gary. Dude, am I in the Twilight Zone? What is happening? Moving up to 205, Nikita Krylov is taking on Bogdan Guskov. Oh, man. I'm such a big Krylov fan, and it killed me to see him lose to Dominic Reyes after all that time off and coming in such elite shape. I don't like how soon he's taking this fight either. 3 months ago, he got flatlined. And Bogdan Guskov can hit hard. Fuck, dude. He lost the exact way I predicted he could, too. Just because his striking defense when he's committing is just a little bit shit. I'm scared for Krylov here, man. Fuck, dude. Bogdan Guskov isn't as good, though, man. Like, Billy Alcana took him way too long to get this finish. Ryan Spann, decent win, I guess, but it's Ryan Spann. Zach Puaga's dog shit. Like, Volkan Uzdemir showed him levels. I think Nikita Krylov has a similar ability to beat Bogdan Guskov as Volkan Uzdemir does. I think he can hurt him on the feet, and I easily think he can outgrapple Bogdan Guskov and submit him. But fuck me, man. I have 3 months off of that KO, and he still is going to have those deficiencies in his stand up at times that scared the fucking shit out of me. But the silver lining is here Bogdan Guskov also has deficiencies in his stand up. He's not quite as defensively responsible as somebody like a Dom Reyes. I'm going to lean Nikita Krylov here. This is a very scary fight. I don't like how soon we're taking this after a knockout, but he is my dog. He is my slime. And I'm picking him to win, man. A lot of people are picking Guskov by KO. I don't disagree. I think it's an all right pick, honestly. But God, man, I gotta pick Krylov, man. I want him to win so bad. It's gonna fucking hurt my soul to see him lose again. No guy who looks like Anthony Smith is beating Nikita Krylov. We're beating Bogdan Guskov by club and sub. Book it. Moving up to flyweight. Flyweight banger here. Asu Amabayev taking on Jose Ochoa. Wow, he's the favorite, huh? We're not high on Asu Amabayev, are we? Weird. I get it. I get it, but like, yeah, I'm kind of liking this. I like it's like is this a little bit of overcorrection? You know what I mean? Jose Ochoa looked really good against Cody Jordan. I picked him to knock him out. I picked him to lose the Loner Confidant. And he's done good work in the LFA. This kid's really legit. He's got great striking, very dangerous, powerful striker. But how does he look against a guy who's just relentlessly trying to grapple with him? Because Cody Durden can't do that. He doesn't have the cardio for it, and he's not as good of a grappler as Almabayev. I feel like this is a fight where everybody's very high on Jose Ochoa. Vegas is going to be high on Ochoa, and after this performance against Cop Asu Almabayev, people are going to be low on him. I think I'm going to lean Asu Almabayev here. I think in a 3-rounder, he's been in there with top 10 guys, Manel Cop, Mateus Nicolau, you know what I mean? think he can lean on a little bit of experience there. I think he can win this fight by decision. I think he can outgrapple Jose Ochoa, who's pretty good with his jiu-jitsu. He's got decent submissions, but I don't think he finds one on Amabayev. And Jose Ochoa seems like the kind of guy who, if you take him down, he's going to look for a submission off of his back in moments as opposed to trying to get up to his feet. And if you do that, you're in a losing position no matter what if you're on your back, regardless if you're looking for a sub or not. And I don't think he finds one off of his back. I think on the feet, Jose Ochoa is much more dangerous, but perhaps Amabayev can get respect on the feet with the takedown threat. I'm going to lean Amabayev. I think people are low on him. I think Vegas is probably pretty low on him. I'm going to pick him to win by decision, I think. I think he can grind out a decision against Jose Ochoa. We'll see, though. We'll find out if Jose Ochoa is really legit. I think he's pretty legit, but we'll see. This is a matchup I'm pretty intrigued by. Moving up to middleweight, Sharabuttin Magomedov is taking on Marc-Andre Barriault. Guys, I'm going with Shara Magomedov here. Marc Barriault got a win in his last fight. Looked great. Looked in good shape. This isn't Bruno Silva. Shara Magomedov is going to beat the shit out of Marc-Andre Barriault. His chin is kind of a little bit spotty. He's been KO'd twice bad in the last year. Sharabuttin dropped a decision to Michael Venom Page, who is eons better on the feet than Marc-Andre Barriault. He should be able to just keep Barriault. Honestly, probably similar to Mikhail Olegzaychuk, this fight here. But Olegzaychuk's better than Barriault. He's way more durable, and he puts on a lot more pressure. I'm going with Shara Magomedov here. I think he chins Marc-Andre Barriault. I'm sure a lot of people think this too. Yeah, I agree. I think Shara Magomedov here is just a more dangerous striker. He has more power. He has more durability. And he's got a more versatile arsenal. Marc-Andre Barriault's going to have to chase him down, and he's probably going to walk into something. So yeah, go with Shara. Moving up to the co-main event. Peter Yan taking on Marcus McGee. Guys, oh man. You guys know I love Peter Yan. He's one of my all-time favorite fighters. I love watching him fight. He's so skilled, so well-rounded. I think this line is off, though. Minus 370, I don't know. Marcus McGee is a guy who, when I really look at his style, I think he's got a good style to maybe beat a guy like Yan in a 3-rounder. He's very durable. He's very powerful. And he's very physically strong. And he's athletic. He's fast. He's explosive. These kind of guys, I think, at this point in his career can kind of get Peter Yan in trouble. Because I think, honestly, I think Peter Yan's skill set's still very elite, but I think his durability is slowly starting to wane a little bit. You know, getting dropped by Figueiredo, got hurt bad by O'Malley. I still think he's really good. I still think he wins this fight. But my worry is we see the Peter Yan who kind of takes the first round off. He has to start fast. He can't take the first round off against Marcus McGee and then try and plot like a 2-round comeback because it's going to be hard. And the thing is, if you try and start fast against Marcus McGee, he's very dangerous. He's very explosive early, and he throws in decent combination. Not as good as Peter Yan's combinations, but I think he has more thwack in his shots, if you know what I'm saying. Now, this performance against Jonathan Martinez, he honestly should have lost this fight. Not saying it was a robbery, it's just Jonathan Martinez could have finished him, and he refused to because he's stupid. And Marcus McGee got the win here based off like getting out there early, which he could do in this matchup if Peter Yan kind of takes the first round off. But I think Peter Yan can win this fight similarly to how he beat Song Yadong. Song Yadong's a guy I kind of feel like is a little bit like a Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee throws more kicks and he's a little bit more dynamic, but he's a strong, powerful, explosive striker who can throw a nice combination, who's very dangerous early. I think Peter Yan can actually mix it up on Marcus McGee. He's got very nice trips. He's got very nice sweeps. He's got some of the best scrambling ability in this division. And he's got good timing, good takedowns, good trips. And the thing is, a trip doesn't, like a takedown attempt, Marcus McGee's explosive enough, he might be able to keep his balance, scrape you up off of the hips. A trip's a trip. You can be strong and explosive. A trip's going to trip you. And I think Peter Yan might have an advantage in the grappling there. I think he's got better combinations. I think he'll be better later in the fight, unless he gets rocked bad early, which could happen. I still think he has decent power. I think he's more well-rounded. I'm going to go with Peter Yan here, but I think he should be minus 200, not almost minus 400 here. Especially in a 3-rounder. If this was a 5-rounder, I would pick Peter Yan, no-brainer. But giving him 3 rounds to work is honestly kind of a federal crime. Nobody's picking McGee. Okay. This, guys, I'm telling you right now, this is value. Plus 285 McGee is 100% value. Listen to me. Because he's got a good style for this fight. He really does. I'm leaning Peter Yan here, probably by decision. mixing it up and just relying on his insane veteran experience against the elite of the elite in the division. Marcus McGee's good though, and he's got a good style to beat Peter Yan. I'm going with Peter Yan by decision, but this line is off. 100%. And now closing out the card with our main event, Robert Whittaker taking on Rainer de Ritter. Robert Whittaker minus 175. Guys, I got some takes about this, and we're going to get into some yap here. Okay? I have picked Rainer de Ritter in every single one of his UFC fights. I picked him to beat Meerschaert, I picked him to beat Holland, and I even picked him to beat Bo Nickel. This is very similar to the run that DDP had, because I picked DDP in every single fight he had up until Whittaker, because I'm like, Whittaker might be too much. And then he beat Whittaker, and then I proceeded to pick DDP on every single fight after. I'm kind of feeling like a similar thing here, because Rainer de Ritter is very good, but I feel like he is a victim on the feet. I feel like he is a victim on the feet. I will say that again. And this is what I want to draw attention to, right? I wonder if more people are picking Rainer. They are. This is what I'm saying. This is MMA fans in a nutshell, right? Everybody was convinced, listen to me, that Bo Nickel will go out there and flatline Rainer de Ritter on the feet. They were convinced of this. They were picking Bo Nickel to go out there and knock out Rainer de Ritter on the feet. Now, they're picking him over Robert Whittaker. Dude. If you thought Bo Nickel was going to chin RDR on the feet, and you think now RDR is going to beat Robert Whittaker, you're schizophrenic. Like, I have to go with Whittaker. I have to. I don't think he's washed yet. He comes in good shape. He's eons faster than RDR on the feet. And RDR is so bad at dealing with straight punches because he doesn't move his fucking head at all. He does not move his head. Now, he's a physical freak, right? He's huge. He's going to be way bigger than Whittaker. But Whittaker spent a majority of his career fighting guys that are bigger than him, fighting guys like Adesanya, who are way better kickboxers and way harder to find than an RDR on the feet. RDR is going to walk straight in with that high-type Muay Thai guard, and if Robert Whittaker just works a 1-2, he will beat the nose off of RDR. I swear to God. RDR has a huge grappling advantage. He's a jiu-jitsu ace. He's one of the best in one history. He's one of the best in this division at jiu-jitsu, pure jiu-jitsu. His wrestling's not quite as good, but it is still good. Is it Chimaev good, though? I don't fucking think so. Have to go with Robert Whittaker. And this is going to be, it might be the same thing as the DDP situation, where this is the one fight where I fade DDP. This is the one fight where I fade RDR. I have to know how good he really is. You know what I mean? Because these other guys, like Bo Nickel's a schmuck, Kevin Holland's a schmuck, Gerald Meerschaert's a schmuck compared to Robert Whittaker. It was kind of like DDP, except DDP had beaten better guys. He beaten like Till, Brunson, guys like that. So honestly, it was... And Robert Whittaker was like minus 300 against him. You know what I mean? I got to go with not RDR, Robert Whittaker here. I'm leaning him. I have to. I think he's way better on the feet. I think RDR's style, his stiff Muay Thai style with no head movement, he deals with straight shots bad. Robert Whittaker's really good with his straight shots, especially his jab, and he uses it to set up a high kick. He's going to be way faster than Rainer de Ritter on the feet. I don't know if Rainer de Ritter's going to be able to track him down and crowd him up against the cage and get the grappling going. He's not quite as brutish as a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, who's just, he's straight in on a shot, coming in at like a fucking equilateral angle on the fucking ground, completely horizontal. I just don't know. And I've seen RDR kind of quit in fights before. He has done it. He's just kind of given up when things have gotten tough. And one of his 2 losses, to be fair. But 5 rounds against Whittaker, I don't know, man. I have to trust him. I have to, man. I'm going with Robert Whittaker. I think he can beat Rainer de Ritter. I think he can TKO Rainer de Ritter on the feet. You heard it here first. I know not a lot of people are high on Whittaker right now, but I'm still a believer. And I'm a de Ritter head, bro. I'm a de Ritter enjoyer. Like I said, I picked him in every single fight here because I'm a believer. But this one might be a little bit too much for me right now. I gotta see how I'm feeling after this fight to know where he really stands. Is he a title challenger? I'm not so sure yet. Beating Bo Nickel, a guy who quit the second he got any adversity thrown his way, I'm not sure that means you beat Robert Whittaker. You feel me? That's it. But yeah, that's it for this card, fellas. I'm looking forward to this card. This is a sick card. Let me know in the comments what your favorite fight on the card is. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya. Thank you for watching.